Alright, we're gonna read a Dr. Mario fan fiction. It's called Dr. Mario Chapter 1, a Mario fan fiction. Alright. It's written by Pencil Girl 92. This is a really bad idea. Okay. So you really want to go back there, huh? The voice caused a chill down Mario's spine. Tell me, what's waiting for you there? My family, my friends. Yes, that much is true. But do you know what your family and friends need? Why they appreciate you? Actually, that's a bad term. They don't appreciate you anymore, do they? What are you talking about? I'm talking about the fact that you've been a hero for, so many years. They've gotten used to it, taken you for granted, needed, dependent, always lying their burdens on your shoulder. I come to wonder why you don't get tired of it. I have to protect them. If their safety was guaranteed, would you even want to go back? Mushroom Kingdom is my home. I know nowhere else. I challenge you to go home, where you know, but as another man. Another man? Disguised, living not as a hero they depend on, but as what you've always wanted to be, a doctor. I challenge you to watch your family. I challenge the fact that they love you for more than your heroics. Especially that brother of yours, Luigi. Mario finally turned around, but still the source of the voice was unknown to him in the strange void where he was standing. Of course he does. He's my brother. Was there ever a time that you were not looking out for him? Ever a time when he didn't need you? He's as needy as they come. Mario felt a surge of anger as he felt he needed to protect his brother from dishonor. I will thwart that challenge. The voice laughed. Even now you protect him. Perhaps the true challenge will be leaving that life behind. And if you're wrong, I doubt I am. Perhaps I can grant a wish if you are right. But you must not tell them your true identity or that you live. I accept those terms. Mario found himself in the Mushroom Kingdom, where he worked in the hospital's ER. His dream. It was as bad if he had ever been here before. He knew his schedule. He had a place to live on the outskirts of the kingdom. He clipped the crook of his arm as he stood outside the room. He peeked the room and swallowed. He had never ever even imagined that his first patient would be Luigi. His baby brother did not look good. Princess Daisy was by his side, holding his gloved hand, which Mario noticed was barely white anymore. It was stained with the blood from his left arm's wound. He remembered seeing him from a distance before the explosion that ended his former life. He was clinging that arm with his opposite hand as a patient by the stains and called him out. Mario shook the image of his mind approaching his patient's bed. The princess looked at him. She would have not have recognized him. No one would. He checked Luigi's vitals and wrote some notes down on the patient information sheet in his clipboard. To know the green-clawed Mario brother was rarely in the Mushroom Kingdom, so he did his best to pretend he did not name. Daisy's voice was brittle. Luigi, she spoke, more silently than Mario had ever heard. She answered all of Mario's questions the same way until he got to next kin. Daisy looked at Luigi's face. The plumber's eyes were shut. His lips contoured into a painful grimace. He just put me down for that. I'm not his family, but he's mine. Mario held his breath. He had never seen Daisy so broken. I'll be back in to check on him later. He left the room and stood in the hallway, letting out a sigh. It was then that he noticed that Toad and Toadette were waiting in the hallway. How is Master Luigi? Toad asked. Is he gonna be alright? Mario looked down at their frightened faces. They cared about Luigi. It made Mario somewhat angry to know that they were about the only ones who did, besides him and Daisy. And even Princess Peach, Luigi was out there fighting too. But he didn't get any of the glory. And yet Luigi had never shown any sides towards his brother. On the contrary, Luigi looked at him with awe. He wanted to be just like him, though he never came close. But as he thought about Luigi, he couldn't help but think about the voice that he created his life for him. He tried to stop fighting from realizing there was some truth in his claim. Luigi had always been needy brother, depending on him for everything. After all, Mario practically raised him, and kids only learn what they've taught and grown accustomed to. Still, now he was a grown man. There was no reason that he should be so dependent on his older brother still. And just like that, the seed began to grow. He had just left the room of the mushroom couple whose baby was small and little. However, with the Dr. Mario touch, the baby almost completely healthy. A nurse came up to him anxiously. Doctor, the patient in the room 8 has finally woken up. She traded clipboards with me, and he found himself holding Luigi's files once again. The Green Brother had unconsciously for the entire day, so Mario was eager to see how he was doing. He walked through the hallway and had to keep him from stopping short when he saw the princess herself in the hall, sitting silently with Toadsworth. Peach looked tired and surly. Mario had never seen her so distraught. She was always so joyful, even when things seemed bleak. But now she wore a true frown, something Mario had never seen past a small frown of concern. Her eyes were red and puffy. He longed to comfort her, but knew he couldn't. Not as Dr. Mario. He passed her silently, watching as she held her eyes in the soaked, gloved hand and wept. With a heavy heart, he slid into his brother's room. Daisy, if it was possible, was in worse shape than Peach. There was a dark circles under her eyes, and instantly, Mario realized that she was exhausted. She glanced at Luigi, not even noticing the doctor's entrance. I hear you're awake, Mario spoke. Daisy looked at him. Luigi's eyes fluttered to look directly at him. Mario felt a strange chill. Luigi had often looked at his brother. It was nothing different to see his eyes focused on him. But then again, it was very different. The look he gave was so different. It was so odd to be an entirely different person as his brother looked at him. He tried analyzing the look Luigi gave him right now. It was a hollow expression, but deep within, it was something unfortunately familiar. within expectation for this doctor to help him. Mario looked down at the clipboard. Expectation for help. Needlessly, the voice had said, and she was right. And here he was helping him again. Maybe this was a part of the test. His family and friends would treat him the same as a stranger doctor as their beloved hero. Do you feel any pain? He looked up from the paper, eager to get those thoughts out of his head. Daisy turned to Luigi, who didn't utter a sound, let alone an answer. Luigi, she whispered, the doctor asked. His eyes flickered towards her. Mario over at Daisy, her eyes shining, oncoming tears. Something that almost never happened with the headstrong princess. She wrapped Luigi's blood-stained hand between her own and laid a soft kiss on his knuckles. Are you in pain, Luigi? Still, he did not speak, but he tightened his hand around Daisy. Mario could tell that he wasn't going to get anywhere with his questions. He'd never seen his brother so closed off. Suddenly, he felt a movement behind him. He turned to see Princess Peach. He tried to hold his expression as neutral as he could. She seemed to have calmed down a bit. Her eyes were still outlined in red, but her breathing was steady and calm. How is he? She said, asking both Daisy and the doctor, but looking at Luigi. Daisy dropping Luigi's lonesome hand. When the princess came in, Daisy stopped, as if she didn't know what to say. How are you? She asked. Peach tried to attempt at a smile. I want to make sure Luigi's okay, she said. Mario uncomfortably watching the exchange, yet being unable to do anything about it. However, there was one note on his clipboard that he had to bring up. As much as he hated it, since the patient is stable and awoken now, it's safe to move him to another room, out of the ER, he told the princess. Thank you for your help, doctor. Daisy looked at him right now. Mario was almost shocked to see such a look from her. She had been one person that was never hesitant to scold him, yelled at him, or outright hated him. Usually it was for Luigi's sake. Luigi, he thought, who I often abandoned, who I forgotten and left in my shadow. She had every right. Luigi had every right to hate me, but he never did. He was filled with more resolve. You're wrong, you know. He's always loved me. But why the voice? Because you were his brother. Or because you were his hero. Doctor, Daisy tilted her head. Mario shook his hand. Sorry, miss. You are very welcome. It is my job, after all. Daisy smiled at him and took his hand. I thank you all the same. Mario couldn't help but remember that time he had saved her in Sarasha Land. Before she officially met Luigi, before he had ever known she and Peach were good friends. They had similar exchange back then. The princess at the end of the castle was different than Peach. She had already halfway out of her heavy steel chains, undoubtedly tried around her when ropes could not do the trick. When she saw Mario, her face was a mixture of disappointment and relief, a very odd pair of emotions to be sure. Mario approached her and said, Princess Daisy. So she looked at him up and down. my knight in shining armor, or something. For the first time, he felt uncomfortable in his heroics. She scrunched her face in thought, and must have decided to being pleasant, because she said thank you. Well, I guess it's kind of my job, she smirked. Thank you all the same. Mario soon learned Daisy was a force to be reckoned with. She was no damsel in distress, and they never really talked much about his journey in Jurassic Land to rescue the princess. That is also perhaps the kindest she's ever been to him. Not to say that she's cruel to him. That was not the case. But Mario couldn't help but believe that now that Daisy was the only kind to him when he was helping her in some other way. And it was indeed the same look that she gave him then, and the same words of gratitude that she was giving him now. Mario stared that he had to make arrangements for the transferred rooms and left. He didn't like the new feelings at all, yet something in the back of his mind, or in the pit of his stomach, or in the depths of his soul, told him he's always had these thoughts. No, I haven't, he said aloud, knowing the voice could hear him. You're tricking me. I'm not tricking you. These are the thoughts and feelings are your own. You stared at me thinking about those things. Or perhaps I pointed them out the obvious. Stop being the perfect hero for once and start looking at me, at things how they are. How are they? Mario shook his head with fierce determination. It's not how they are. Ever the hero, Mario found himself with a new job. Protect his friends, family from the falsehood. Protect them from the thoughts that kept creeping into his mind. The seed of doubt that threatened the sprout. Alright. Well, I think that's enough. I'm not going to chapter 2. So I'm gonna end it here. Alright, goodbye. Hi, thank you for watching my video. Please like, comment, and subscribe.